I bet. All
Here
right,
we
we good
go.
out here?
We good.
All right, man. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Laptop's acting up like a bitch. So
It's all good. It's all good.
yeah, man. So yeah, then the joint that you had late December, I see was dedicated to your baby girl.
My youngest daughter, yep.
Yeah,
Yeah. My daughter Jasmine.
yeah.
That's
So
that's my heart right there.
how do you feel? How do you feel about her being a Pac fan instead of a Nas fan?
No, that's the oldest one.
Oh, okay. That's
The oldest
okay.
one.
All right.
My youngest she don't care about rap.
No, she's just
The other one, yeah, the oldest one who has the baby boy. She's with the pot posters in her room. I'm talking about
yep.
if you let her, remember in Baby Boy, he had the big mural for Tupac.
Yeah.
That's how her room would look.
Heartbroken were you?
No, I was just like, well, the middle daughter loves Nas. So I was like, okay.
All right, it's balance. Balance
That's
of the
balance,
force.
I was like, I did something right. Yeah, but the youngest one, she don't care about rap.
Mm-hmm.
She's more into like she's starting to get into like heavy metal music.
Okay.
Oh,
so,
that's
yeah.
what's up. It's something different. You gotta
Teaching
have
me
the
something.
balance. Yeah. Like, Dad, listen to this.
Yeah, she be sending me some dark metal that this is a whole bunch of yelling. That's all I know.
No doubt. So another joint that you had on the album that I saw it made your list on the Spotify that I think is the one a lot of people listen to with Made with Love.
Yeah, the single. That's the one that I'm like pushing crazy right now. So,
so that was the first single you decided to go with?
Yeah, because it's the the whole theme of the album and everything like that. So that's the one I'm just like pushing the most. That's the one I got the video for.
And can you tell the audience the concept on that song, which is the title of the album?
Yeah, well, just everything you do, everything that just put your heart into everything you do, and then I've been living it for like the past 5 years. It's been like, I'm just going. Everything I'm doing, I'm gonna do it high. I know I don't drop a song every week like some people do, or you know what I'm saying, or a video every week. But I'm like, when I do drop something, I want it to be dope. That's it. Like, no matter what, even if I drop one video a year, I want it to be like the best shit you've ever seen. You know what I'm saying?
Which is not bad neither, man, because you don't want to oversaturate the music neither. So it's cool
Right.
to do your thing, chill out.
Right. And I'm kind of learning the business too. So it's like I play the role of everybody. Like I'm my own manager, my own A&R, my own label head, booking
agent, all that.
I'm everything. I play everything. Like
isn't that hard?
Yo, man, it sucks, bro.
Yeah. It seems very overwhelming, man.
Yo, so that's why I don't really get to interact on group chats like that, is because it's like, and I also work full time. So you know what I'm saying? So I have to keep the bills. I have to keep the bills and the lights on. So
What's
it
up?
doesn't.
Yeah. Now, this joint here, I heard this joint and I like, okay, this might cause some family problems out here.
Oh man, which one?
Well, the title says Ike and Tina, so.
Yeah.
First of all, okay. I know as an artist, it gets, because when I used to perform like spoken words, and I used to like speak about relatives, they all have to look at me like, really, nigga, you got to put our business out here in the streets.
Right.
And I'm like, yo, that's how I'm feeling, man. Y'all ain't acting right.
Right.
So
right.
if I don't, if I don't go to y'all, I'm gonna have to go to an audience or seek a therapist or find a drinking problem. So pick one.
Right.
So what was your thought process in that, and what was the result after? I mean, have your parents heard that, or?
They did, yeah.
So what was the reaction?
Yeah, what was the reaction?
So Ike and Tina was. Let me see how what can I say this? if you look at a lot of like my history, especially with my children, my marriage and everything ending and all that, it was a lot of trauma carried over from my parents. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that and you couldn't address it. You know, you couldn't address it then because you don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know how back then we don't, you know, you can't really express it. And as men, you gotta like try to, especially as Latin men.
Latin man,
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you can't really be. It was just you know, we're very prideful. You know what I'm saying? My grandfather's Cuban, so I never seen him show emotion. So it was like,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So my father's Dominican. You know what I'm saying? But there was a lot of stuff that was hidden away for years, and it came when I had kids and got married, separated, got divorced. All that came to light. So it was just like, and you find yourself living like angry, you just upset because of trauma, and then you start finding your triggers. And I just got to a point in the last 5 years where it's just like I have to just start telling, like, a lot of my relationships have changed with people because not that I'm just, because I found myself, I was being angry, snapping and being, you know what I'm saying, because you're reacting.
Yeah.
And I had to get to a space where it's just like, yo, I have to be able to say these things without getting, and I got to that space, and my brothers heard it and they related because, you know, they all lived it. My mother heard it and she took it really hard. It was really hard, but she took it hard, but I had to just stand my ground and be like, nah, I just needed to say it. And what came out of that was me and her we had a long conversation. So so probably, and I'm talking about this happened in the last few months after that song came out. So now we're starting to repair a lot of shit.
So it was more, I mean, music is therapy, you know.
Right.
This song right here was definitely felt like therapeutic towards you, and it was like, you know, something you had to release. And from the looks of it, I mean, after the why you got to put this on the streets kind of stuff, I think after that reaction is like, you know, done and done with. It was therapeutic because you were able to have conversation with your fam and be like, look, this is what I've been feeling. And because of your trauma, your family trauma, you kind of passed it towards me. And I went through my trauma with my thing, and it was like, the curse continued.
Right. And I had to do it because I saw certain things that I saw with me. I saw them acting the same way with my kids.
Yeah.
So that's, you know, I had to put a stop to it. I had to put my foot down. Because if I didn't, it would just build up. So now I got to a point where I was like, yo, I'm gonna, if I see something that bothers me, I'm gonna say it. And I don't know if I could break generational curses, but I'm gonna try.
I hear that.
I don't know my father yet. I haven't spoke with him yet, so I don't know if he's heard. I've spoken to him, but I don't know if it really. He says like, oh, he heard the album, but I don't know if it has registered with him yet.
Yeah. Well, you'll find out. You'll find out eventually.
Yeah, I'll find out.
Yeah. So with this, well, those are the few tracks that I really wanted to like the code, because those tracks were the one that kind of like hit me. And, you know, just because I'm a nigga that likes hearing songs that involves trauma and depression, that's just like my area right there. So I like my rappers depressed with issues. So it's just
right.
So that's why I like to go at. I feel your pain, nigga.
I feel you. Let's go.
So to go back to your discovery, this is your second album or third album?
My second album.
Second album.
The third album's done. It's just not coming out yet.
What was that?
It's just not. The third album's done, but it's just not coming out yet.
All right, well, with this one, it sounds like you already went personal already. So I thought niggas don't get personal until like the third or fifth album. Nigga, you went personal already. So is this like your this is your Moon Music album
This is
or your
my 444.
Jesus Christ?
444, Life is Good, Moon Music 2.
Yeah, I'm saying, man.
Yeah,
all that shit.
Next time we're gonna dig deep in your divorces and shit. Watch.
we still dealing with that, so we
it might be a few albums worth of content.
Right. It might be a freaking I don't know. I'll leave that one alone.
We wouldn't even touch that. On that note, great album, man. I appreciate the album, man. It's because we're all here. We're all hip hop nerds, so I know there's a deep love for the culture and the music, and I know you dug deep from this album, just being your second one. So I do appreciate the album from what I've heard. And it's really, really dope, man. So from this album, I also see that you've been doing some touring. So
I did.
Wait, before you continue, I got a quick question. How does Rodriguez smell? She must smell great.
Well, she didn't stink, so
no, that's what I'm saying. She must smell delicious.
Good. That's good.
She must smell fabulous.
Nah,
that's a Nori question.
Right.
No. Nori be like, did you finger pop her?
I know,
yo,
Nori be wild, man. I'd be like, Jesus. I met her through Instagram. I met these dudes named Full Blast Booking, and they do tours. I guess they've been doing it for a couple years now. And I seen them, and I just jumped on the tour, and I hit them up, and it was an experience. It was my first time. It was crazy, man. We went from like Jersey, we went from like New York to Jersey, then we came here to Massachusetts, then up to Maine, then back down to Connecticut.
Dope.
Yeah, so it was in 5 days, and it was a grind, man, because I didn't have really stayed, it costs a lot of money. You spend a lot of money, you bringing people, you're riding with people, and it's just like, man, so they're doing it again this year, and I might just jump on. Now I'm playing it because, again, remember I told you I spend my time just learning this business right now. So now I'm playing everything. I'm playing cool. I started my own LLC. So
nice.
There you go.
Now,
nice.
So everything,
right off everything.
Yeah, everything now. I'm just. I play everything cool, and I approach everything like, I don't need y'all. Not in a bad way, but it's just like, I'm not gonna be in a position where I need somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, it worked for Bad Bunny, just to put an example out there.
Right.
Man, is just that's some shit that's never been seen.
I was just gonna say that literally, we've never seen nothing like Bad Bunny, man. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is the perfect example of artists taking control of their own destiny.
Yeah.
Right.
Like ownership, bro. Ownership of your. I mean, shit. You own your label, or you own your content. Not selling your publishing. I was recently talking with a friend of mine. He's an artist, West African dude.
Yeah.
And he was talking about, like, how I think the most recent thing was Irv Gotti sold the masters for all the Murder Inc. shit.
Right.
Like he sold all his publishing to start something new because he wants to bankroll something bigger. And, he's a smart dude, so he's gonna be doing some big things. And then after that, like the most recent one was P from Quality Control, QC.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he just sold the label for $300 million, and it's like, unless you're in that world and if you don't know the particulars of the contract, like why people commenting. But if you're not in a situation, like, people like that took it as far as they could take it with what they had. And it's like now they have the resources to really go into something much bigger. So you know what I'm saying? Like I understand when people do that kind of move. But I'm a big fan of don't sell your publishing
Right.
Because you know, like that's even if you do write for other people, you still, you know, still your publishing, it's still your
Right.
art that you made. And you know,
Right.
just
No, you're right.
I don't know.
Absolutely right. Fuck that.
Keep that shit, bro.
So I see you're gonna be taking a trip down south to Texas. First time in Texas?
First time in Texas. Yeah, I'm going to South by Southwest. I guess it's supposed to be pretty big out there.
Yeah.
Huge festival.
Yeah, so we're going. I got a connection through some people I met in Brooklyn, and I guess they're gonna be out there the whole week. And he threw me on to a show, and then he let me get on the main show. So I ended up now I got 2 shows out there. So
Nice. Do you need somebody to be part of your entourage so they could like not do nothing?
Yo, I need mad people in my entourage, man. I'm running dolo right now.
Yo, Biggs, what you up to, son?
Everywhere I go,
let's do this.
Everywhere I go,
I've been in Texas. I spent some time out there.
Yeah, I'm going to Austin. This is gonna be my first time out there.
So it's popping.
I meant to Dallas, but I'll go out there again.
How's it?
One of the was that?
It's the 15th and the 17th in 2 weeks.
March?
March, yeah. We going out there.
We're gonna have a conversation. See if I can do something out there. Just scratch the back of my neck right there. But like, yo,
it's dope. It's dope. I think after I get back though, because I'm also in I'm doing a music industry class.
Oh, shit.
So like right before y'all call, I was in class. I do it every Wednesdays. Yeah, I was, and she gives me homework and everything, bro. Like it's like I feel like I'm back in school. One-on-one, there's one-on-one sessions and everything, and she's just, yeah, she's dope, man. I got 2 more classes with her, and it's dope.
Yeah, okay, you doing it through like an actual school, or just somebody in the industry?
Yoko Entertainment. I don't know if you guys heard of her. She runs with like Rock Nation and them.
I mean,
she's cool with people from Rock Nation. I don't know if she runs with them, but she's cool with people from Rock Nation. That's how I met her, through a Rock Nation event.
Nice.
Got it.
Yeah. So and then I just been following her. She liked the song, and then she'll like a lot of some of my stuff. She'll message me. You message her, she gets back to you. I was just like, man, let me just invest and see what this is all about. And she's teaching me a lot. It's only been 2. That's a lot, bro.
Okay, man, that's what's up. What's up? Maybe next you'll be able to go to the Rock brunch or whatever. And
Rock Nation brunch every year in February.
Rock one of those cool ass suits or whatever.
All right, I'll take that dinner. I tell every I have a joke with me and my friends that the Jay-Z, I'm taking the dinner. I'm not taking the money. I'm taking the dinner. I was like, I'm gonna sit. I'm taking the dinner, and I'm gonna sit there with a notepad. I'm taking and I'm eating the most expensive whatever on the menu I'm ordering.
Milk it up, baby.
Man.
Milk it up, man.
I know everybody say, you'll take the money first. Take the money.
Before I say before I just say take the dinner date, but now I'll just take the money because that nigga's gonna help me get rich.
He seems very comfortable, doesn't he?
Too comfortable.
Comfortable. Yeah, the most comfortable I've ever seen him. Like, wow, life must be really good, bro.
It's no longer man, what was it? Saigon, when he put out the greatest story never told.
Right.
He's just like riding in like a town car or whatever. He's doing a video. He's talking about like, yo, thank everybody for getting me the #1 on the hip hop charts, blah blah blah. And then so I guess one of the questions that came up was like yo, Hov was on the remix of the Come On Baby. And he's like, yeah, yo, Hov is so Marcy, son. Like he got all this money. He mad Marcy, son. He's still outside. He's still this. And it's like nowadays it's like, nah, bro, he went to therapy. he, 444 and like constant therapy, man. He cleared up a lot of shit.
He did.
Yeah, man. Like
He
you kind of
he drops like a verse a year, and then everyone calls it the greatest.
Yeah, that's a trick now.
Like
That's a trick
like
now.
the God did shit. I'm like, bro, like I know that this ain't even top 25 Hove. Like, come on, man.
Right. It was
But it's
I
dope.
like the
It's dope.
verse,
It's a
but
dope
I
verse.
don't think
It's a dope verse.
it's just
I think people get it twisted. Like, oh, it's a long as it's like what 4 minutes or some shit,
Yeah.
and people think that's enough to put it in that upper echelon. But I give it his props for like the shit that he's done in the past few years is up there for sure.
I think once people say it's the greatest verse, the greatest album, to me it's like
It's already not.
It's not.
And they don't say, and
It's
because we live in
qualified.
such a fast era, you could come out with an album. It's the greatest album that came out. It only dropped like 3 albums. Then people don't even want to digest the album.
Right,
So
right.
I
Because
don't even take that shit serious.
Game said that about his last album. He said it was like the greatest album he ever did, and
Yeah, but he be lying.
I listened to it like once. I think I stopped at the Eminem diss. I don't know.
and can we just like already like enough of the double albums already? I don't want to like go through a fucking those years are over, man. I'm tired with double albums, man. Come give me a freaking album and just keep the shit moving, man. Like you got motherfuckers now dropping 40 tracks album. Like niggas ain't got work, got things to do.
Like yo, people got work.
Yeah,
people gotta go to work.
People got work.
Why you trying to get a paycheck? I ain't got time to fucking like they're dropping this shit like it's an equivalent to a fucking episode of a TV show.
You see, like if you're gonna do some shit, like be smart, be pull a do like Nas and be like, look, I'm gonna wait like 6-7 months before I drop the next one. All right.
He don't even tell nobody. He just drops it.
Nah, he just dropped that shit. Like, yo, here it is. I think he said King Disease 3 was coming. He just never said when.
Right.
And then he just dropped that shit like from one day to the next. I'm like, dog, this motherfucker. I'm like, all right, cool. And then I hear that shit. I'm like, God damn.
And there's like, there's 2 things we're getting right now. Either you drop a real long ass album, or you drop an album and the shit only had like 1 verse, and that's it. You got skips for albums. That's where we at right now.
Yeah, I try to keep it 10 to 12 songs. Now
that's good. That's like,
I try to keep it under like 13, 14.
Yeah, because both your albums are not really long albums in that sense. Like you kept the track numbers manageable. I do understand though when the artist wants to put out, more content. Like you just got more shit to say, or if you're on a major, then you got the obligations to the label. You're like, I gotta put out. I put out a song that's this and that. Like before it was kind of like you need to have songs to hit all the markets, and now it's just like you need to make songs that work with the algorithms, because it's all database. Like they're looking at, they're doing data analytics for shit that's like that. It was like that's like not that's not meant to be a formula. You know what I mean? Like that's really the biggest issue I got with it, But yeah, it's like, man, these motherfuckers sometimes like, yo, you did not need to leave all those tracks on that album.
Yeah. But didn't Donda had like 30, right?
Yeah,
it was some shit like that.
Exhausted.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I got to clock in for work.
Seriously. I don't even remember where I left off.
What's crazy? I haven't heard either one of the albums.
Oh.
No, for real. I think
I heard Donda once. I think I heard it once.
I heard a few tracks off of Donda, off the first one, but man, I have no interest in hearing the music anymore. So
well, he's also,
I mean, besides the antics, bro, like I seriously don't like the music doesn't call me anymore. And I think the last time that he did some really, really good shit was the Daytona album for Push.
Oh, okay.
That was that was like 2017, 2018. Like that was really the last time I was like, yo, this was fire. And then after that, it's like
Was that the 6-track album that he had? When he was
Yeah,
working
like he did five albums in 5 weeks, and each album had 7 tracks. So he had this shit, he had the Push album, he had the Nas album, he did man, I'm
The
trying to
girl,
remember the
what's her
other
name?
two.
Tiana Taylor.
Tiana Taylor, yeah, like that shit was fire.
That album was
And
dope. Yeah,
that was the best
album,
one of the whole series.
That
and
that album was dope. And he did like another one with Kid Cudi, right? Kids See Ghosts or something like that.
Yeah, the Kid Cudi.
Kids See Ghosts. But yeah, like he did, that was the last major. Like the last time I was like, yo, the music is all good. Now whatever the artist does when they do the raps, whatever. But yeah, I ain't fucking with this music like that no more. Like I'm not even. I think last year at some point in the summer, I just kind of went on a Kanye like retrospective, and I started playing like College Dropout and
right
the Late Registration, which is my favorite. Like the first 4 albums, which are like those are my favorites.
Right.
And then after that, I just haven't really played none of this shit, bro.
Yeah.
You can't. Yeah, I mean,
My
every
shit,
so often.
Graduation was just so amazing to me.
Man, that shit was like a stadium concert in your headphones, man.
It was. It's good, real good music.
Yeah, and I whatchamacallit, did I saw that? No, wait, I saw him when he went through that fucking that auto-tune moment. The 808
the 808s. I really do like that album a lot.
Heartless was good. That was a good single.
I wasn't a fan of that album. I'll be honest. Wasn't a fan of that album.
Hey, fair enough.
It's all right to be wrong, Mike.
Yeah, shut your mouth. Before I mute you. Shut up before I mute you, man. Yeah, mute yourself, nigga.
Nah, bro. Yo, I actually wanted to ask you, like, I kind of missed it earlier because I was trying to get my son ready for bed. But when you had opened up for all these different artists, just kind of going around the scene and doing your thing, and you mentioned Sean Price, and I remember like I met him too when he performed in Miami in Studio A, which is this venue that's near downtown.
Right.
And mad cool, like we chopped it up and everything. Rock wasn't there, but Rusty Jux was there, and I got to chop it up with him too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, like part of his crew, like them dudes was there. Like something it wasn't like boot campers. It was like it's Ruck and Jux. Like that's it, and obviously whoever's part of the crew. So we had to chop it up, and I'm like yo, this dude cool as fuck. But then other people said like, nah, he's not. He was just kind of like kept his own.
Well, he was walking. He was walking. So when I seen him, I gave him dap when passing, but it looked like he just didn't really want to be bothered.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean,
rest in peace to him, man.
No longer here, man. Rest in peace to the legend, man. That motherfucker right there. That was an entertaining show, bro. Oh my god, I was cracking up after time. So he's a funny dude. He's a funny dude. Like even with the raps and shit. So.
And I always loved him as Ruck. I always was like, yo, he's nice. He's nice. People didn't listen to me because everybody used to like Rock. I'm like, yo, Ruck's nice. Ruck's nice.
I appreciate Sean Price.
Well, let's be real. He changed his style a little bit. He did kind of,
and became mad aggressive.
He did. He did kind of like he reinvented himself, kind of like Lil Wayne. I feel like Lil Wayne. Well, yeah. But I mean, do you remember MF Doom without the mask?
No, because MF Doom without the mask, he was just chilling with third base in them. So
right.
Yeah. Yo, like
Wayne's probably the greatest. I would never in 1998, I would have never thought Lil Wayne would be. I'd consider him one of the greatest.
In 2023, dog, putting a new album out, like, fam. And there's like no beat, no style of rap that he doesn't fucking just body it.
Right.
When you think about it, you're like, yo, and he's almost like a throwback in a way too, because he raps like with no topic, like not there isn't a theme in his songs. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like
Right,
I'm
you're right, you're right. He just
they'll
goes.
work for that song, but it's just like crazy bars. You know, a Millie was a big you know, a good example of that. So like I'm sure the new shit he did where he got the DMX sample on it, same thing. So nah, yo, this dude is like he put out a rock album. He's put out the shit, his label compilation. He he put
He
Drake's
gave us
music out
Drake.
because
Yeah,
He
like
gave us
he
Drake and
gave
Nicki
Drake
Minaj.
he
yeah,
gave Drake a platform. Like me
yeah.
as somebody who
Can't be
like
mad at
I
that.
knew who Drake was. I didn't know Drake was an actor. I thought he was just a rapper, and it wasn't
Yeah,
until
me
like
too, me too.
2007 that I was like, yo, the kid is actually an actor from Canada.
Canada.
He's doing this shit called Degrassi. Like, yo,
Yeah.
what the fuck? But then I found out his pops was he part of the Memphis old school that Stax Records like
Right. Wow. Yeah.
energy, like that's like his pops is part of that, like sort of, you know, in that environment because he was a musician himself. So like
Mm.
his whole father side of the family is all like Memphis, Tennessee folk, and
Yeah.
they like outside for real.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so but yeah, the kid is from '03 when I first heard him. He was doing shit with this kid from Richmond, and I was living in Virginia at the time, and I'm like, yo, this kid Drake is nice, and he's rocking with Little Brother. I'm like, yo, all right, okay,
He was
he got
rocking with
some,
Little Brother.
Yeah.
yeah, oh yeah, and then he does the song with Fonte and Elzai and Ninth Wonder produced that shit. Yeah, like
Amazing
the world,
song.
nigga.
Amazing song.
And the joint with
Yeah,
Tanya
man.
Morgan, too, people forgot. He had a joint with Tanya Morgan.
Tanya Morgan, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, you mentioned Tanya Morgan, bro. Damn, I have not heard that name in a while.
Yeah, Tanya
Yeah.
It's
Morgan,
like
that goes, that's some
that
underground
era,
shit.
man. That
Yeah.
era, that underground era. But now, bro, it's like you were saying, bro, with like he Wayne reinventing himself, one of the greats, and he's done the rock album. He's put out all these people. He's transcended. He got locked up into fucking Rikers of all places, yo.
Yeah.
He survived that shit on his head, and fucking like here he is, man. I mean, I
Survivor,
wish he
man.
dropped. Wish he dropped the the lean of whatever he's doing, but
The only thing is
nah,
he
man.
don't really have another Carter 3. He don't really, he doesn't
Yeah,
have
Cart.
that other.
Which brings me back. We're a Carter 2 or a Carter 3 person, because those are people are at war at, like, with his best ones.
I'm Carter 3. But
You
there
three?
was
Yeah.
people were telling me about Carter 2. I wasn't believing, but Carter 3, that's when I believed. Like,
Yeah, because I was on to Carter 2, and Carter 2 was fire.
I
But
think
Carter
Carter 2
3,
was fire.
Okay.
and
Carter 2 was fire,
Carter 3's
but
more commercial. I think Carter 2's the better album.
Okay. He had
yeah.
that.
Like
That's where he
lyrically.
actually.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Okay.
I think
Okay.
so.
Yeah,
At least my opinion.
because the best example I could give you, which I don't necessarily agree, but there's people that actually got to this debate, was second albums, you know, Infamous and Hell on Earth.
damn.
A lot of people, I found out there was a sneaky audience that had a Hell on Earth that they prefer that one over Infamous. It's very weird, very, very weird. But
Well, if you think about it,
relax.
Infamous is a second album.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of people
They
don't
had the shit, they
realize
had the
that.
juvenile
yeah,
hell shit.
yeah, a lot of people don't know that.
And
They
they
don't
and
like to count
they
juvenile
were
hell.
signed to a
Yo,
major for the first album too.
Yo, let me tell you, I'm a big second album person. I feel like, you know what it is? Because I feel people, they come so much harder. And think about Liquid Swords is the second album.
Ooh,
I don't
yeah,
know.
because
God, that's
worse
right.
from the genius.
Liquid
I
Swords
forgot.
is like Life After Death, Wu-Tang Forever, which is my favorite Wu-Tang album.
Fuji.
That album,
Fuji. The Score was the second
Food,
album.
the
the
score,
score, yep.
Supreme Clientele.
Oh my God.
My God.
Yeah. And the first one was amazing. Well,
Yeah.
he didn't really like that album too much.
Really?
Yeah. He
I guess
said that shit too.
yeah, I guess
He
he
didn't like
felt
Iron Man?
he was in a space that he didn't really. He felt it was dark.
Yeah,
Oh,
he was going through a lot of
first
shit.
time?
That's the album where like he got locked up. He was also like he had gone overseas. He was in West Africa somewhere. He got really sick. Like he was on his deathbed, and which is why he went out to Africa to like heal.
Mm-hmm.
So he was dealing with a lot of shit. He was diagnosed with diabetes, that's what was kind of getting him. You know what I'm saying? He comes from like he was going through a lot of shit in his life, and that's why he said it was like I don't really like that album, but dog, I remember it's fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
I'm still more of a Supreme Clientele fan just because like damn,
but staying on the theme of second albums, My Life. my life was the second album. Yeah.
My life.
Mary J. Blige.
Mary.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, hold up.
Yeah.
What?
Yo, My
Mary,
Life.
that shit.
Redman, There Is a Dark Side.
There's a dark side. There's a the fucking
Huh?
That album's fucking fire.
I didn't like that album, man. The Darker Side.
Redman's first 4 albums was crazy.
It literally is the first 4.
I'm the album guy because that was the first tape I caught from him. So I'm more the album guy. Then I go to Muddy Waters, but What the Album, that's my favorite Redman album.
Muddy Waters
What the album,
crazy, man.
What the album is the one that I picked that one over Muddy because that was the one I was gravitated to.
Right.
It was dope though. Like, you know, Time for Some Action was on that shit, you know.
A Tribe, Low End Theory, my favorite Tribe, the second
Low End
album.
Theory, yep. Low End Theory is my favorite Tribe album too.
So you're a Low End Theory as opposed to Midnight Marauders? Because I know people be at war with that one.
Yo, it's tough for me. But Low End Theory just always just captures me. I don't know what it is.
My God, we're in that lonely boat, man. I'm a Low End Theory guy.
And Low End Theory got Scenario on it, which is the greatest posse track ever. So like that.
Scenario.
I'm just saying, bro.
The greatest posse cut.
It's up there. It's up there. I won't dispute.
Oh yeah, it's definitely top 5. It's definitely.
I won't dispute that.
Because you know, other people would say Triumph, but I'm like, no, because that's like one group. Like that, there's
that's a group.
I wouldn't say Triumph.
No,
posse cuts. 4, 3, 2, 1. I shot you. Really?
Man, the LL shit. Like LL always putting a bunch of dudes on the track.
I shot you. 24 Hours to Live.
The Flavor in Your Ear remix.
Flavor in Your Ear remix. Yeah, that's wow.
Band from TV.
From TV. Jesus.
Which, you know, bringing it back to 98. God damn.
Can we throw Ain't No Fun?
That's just fun.
Which one?
The Snoop Drake, yeah.
Dog Pound.
Snoop Corrupt.
Yeah.
It's a posse cut, technically speaking. Is that
it is coming from the greatest album I've ever heard, Doggy Style.
Yeah, so you out there.
Yo, I love Doggy Style, man. That's like one of my top albums ever.
Yeah,
that's my top one of my top 5 albums ever, Doggy Style. Like,
and you bring that shit up, and I'm like, yo, hold up. There's so you know how Snoop just did Back on Death Row, and the intro is short. It's like a minute and a half, but he goes back to that flow from back then from Doggy Style.
Oh, does he?
Yo, this shit is fire, kid. Yeah, because it's like, I mean, the rest of the album is Snoop doing whatever he wants, but that intro, you got, because he's talking shit, like he's popping shit, and then he goes into the flow, and that's the Snoop that I first heard, you know.
Now he getting all the Death Row catalog, definitely deserves it.
Oh man, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I hope he gives Dre the Chronic shit. Like, give him his masters, because that's really what he wants. He gave him the Suge, because Suge showed up at his crib like run my shit, and Dre's like, all right, man. Whatever, just leave me the fuck alone.
I hope he puts out that Dog Food album. Put out that, because I don't think it's on the platforms, is it?
The Dog Pound album? Nah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
No.
It's gonna be interesting because New York is on that shit. Yes, sir. That's that brings up something else. We got to
Corrupt's greatest verses. on New York, New York.
On that album, yo, which
Yeah.
is crazy because like, yo, Corrupt is a fucking bar master, kid, and
I felt like
still,
underrated.
what aggravates me is when they say that, oh, we weren't trying to diss New York. Yeah, man, y'all was
kind of going at him, man.
Some nigga was dissing hard.
I felt like
Yeah, they were.
He's
I
gone.
felt like yeah, they were mocking, but I also felt like I felt like on that song he just was like, I don't even have to diss you. I don't have to say no names. I'm just gonna outflow all of y'all.
Which
And I
he
think
did.
he
delivery
on
did the video
on that song.
in New York. He did that shit in New York.
Definitely Corrupt at his best right there.
Mm-hmm. And
Jesus.
shit, Corrupt is a monster, kid. But yeah, I do hope they put this shit out. He gets all the masters and give all the artists they're publishing, like, here, you own it.
Yeah.
Just like we just do a deal where, you know, we distribute and that's it. So that's the way to play it. Just be smart with it, you know.
And who else had a second?
Bro.
No, what happened?
And side note, can we congratulate Nas for selling out the Garden? Like,
yo,
by himself? Can we? He sold the Garden all by himself.
Yo, for real, that's a feat. Like, because New York is a fucking.
The Garden. I underestimated him. I never thought he would sell out the Garden, but he did that shit.
I wish I could have went to that show. I went to see him with Wu when he came here last summer.
Well, he's doing the tour again. They're going to different cities.
They're doing it again.
But they're coming. They're gonna do two. They're gonna do several cities that they did on the first tour again, just because the people want it back. So when they come back to DC in September, I'm gonna see if I catch that show. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I catch that show out here because that shit gonna be fire. If they do it like at the Howard Theater or something, oh man, it's a wrap. That shit gonna be live.
Oh, that's dope.
That was where Rakim and Big Daddy Kane did their show.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
The battle that never happened.
Yeah, I've been waiting for that, but I kind of I gave up.
Nah.
It's like nah,
the battle never happened.
because it's like I've been trying to. They both have a claim to that title, but it's like I need to actually. So they actually recorded a diss, like disses towards each other at the time, and there is a tape out there. And supposedly the only person that's heard both of their disses is Kool Moe Dee. Because Kool Moe Dee at the time was still, like the top lyricist in the game. So
Right.
So but he was the original generation, like the first super MCs, him, Kaz and Money Mel. So he's like, yeah, I heard that shit. That shit, both of them was fire. Both of them had heat. So I'm hoping somebody puts that shit on YouTube.
I'm siding with Rakim on that one.
I kind of do as well, but I feel like Big Daddy Kane is like nobody ever wants to test him because they're gonna get the ass whooped in a battle. But
right. It would have been interesting if KRS if they would have responded to KRS.
Oh, with the bridge is over, or like the South Bronx,
because he was dissing the whole Juice Crew and.
Yeah, so
and the bridge is over.
Kane talked about that. Because they were like, yo, why you never went at Chris after, he dissed the whole crew? Well, technically speaking, that wasn't my beef. That was MC Shan beef, but I ain't like him. So I don't like. We weren't really that cool with Shan because Shan was on some fuck shit when he met Kane, and he said that him and KRS were cool. He tells a story when KRS helped Big Daddy Kane moved out of his dad's house. And he moved him into his new apartment.
Oh yeah, he did tell that story.
Like he was like, that Shay gonna have to hold his on that one. He gonna hold his own nuts.
Hold that L, sir. Hold that L.
I'm curious. Who y'all think dominated the '80s? Like who was that?
I don't know, bro. It's too many.
In the '80s?
It's too many, man. Too many.
It's a toss. I'll say overall in the '80s.
Yeah, Rakim.
LL Cool J.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
Everyone
sleeps on LL Cool J.
LL Cool J, man.
No,
like talking about just like overall, like
no.
Not just.
Look, overall, he was probably obviously a bigger star, but do you think LL at one point was bad on the mic, man, from like 85 to 90. And that was in the KRS, Rakim, Daddy Kane.
LL, I think LL had so much like lyrical, like lyricism and this shit. And from when he started till like the late 90s, that he doesn't really have to do crazy bar shit, like crazy bars now.
I feel we don't give him that. I feel they don't give him that in the 80s.
Which is why he created the term, the GOAT, man. He should have trademarked that shit though. he should have copywritten it and gotten that shit and now everybody like, yo, there's people doing that shit in politics. Like the greatest of all time. Like, nah, get the fuck out.
Right.
Like, nah, that's LL, bro. You right though. LL was that dude, and LL
and he did last. He outlasted all of them.
He lasted damn near 4 decades.
Yeah, he's still active.
In 2002, he still had hits.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he had hits after that.
Love
he
You
had
Better.
this shit.
That was a hit song.
Yeah, he did the shit.
I think he had until like 05, 06 when the hit song came out.
He had that Paradise song with Anne Marie.
Right. Oh wow, I forgot about that one.
Yeah, that was another hit. That show's on the charts.
Yeah,
and then he even did that fucking country song. Like, yo,
LL can do whatever he wants. That country song. That song was terrible. No, we're not.
LL does whatever he wants.
Hip hop and country hasn't figured it out yet.
I think it depends on the audience.
That song was just bad.
That song was not good.
What song you're talking about, honestly.
There's some shit he did with Tim McGraw called Accidental Racist. That shit was trash. Because it's like, nah, you're not letting, like, you can't let that shit slide.
Oh wow.
So,
okay.
Yeah. But no, LL man is just like a whole nother level. And I bet you if he just sat down in the booth, like just give him a few days and let him fucking just like spaz out in the fucking booth. But give him some beats, because he's not always consistent with the beat selection either.
I don't think I've ever heard that song. Was it worse than Shark Fin?
Yes.
Oh, my head is like Shark Fin. Yes, it was.
Yes.
You gotta appreciate that he's got a sense of humor about all that shit, because he just laughs at all the silly shit he did back in the day. Like, bro, yo, there was a Twitter thread about all the extra shit he did, and he replied to it, dog. That I was dying when I saw that shit, bro. Like, cause my head is like a Sharks fan, or when he did the video where he's like fully clothed in the bathtub.
Yeah. him eating an apple in a strip club.
Like, dog, what the fuck?
Yo, he was eating an apple in the strip. Yo, I love just did whatever the hell he wanted, bro.
Rocking the Kango had the river.
Yo, he was, bro. He was. Yo, don't forget, but one of the dopest singles, "Around the Way Girl." That was one of my favorite LL songs, man. That's such an amazing track. Man.
No, classic. He just did some he did some real off-wall shit during his career, man. But it's just classic.
Yeah,
it's a really classic.
It's LL. He's the one that he showed everybody how to be a fucking superstar.
Right.
Yeah. He showed everybody how to do that shit. I don't think he would have, when he started, when Rakim and Chris and Kane and G-Rap came out, like, I don't think he had the flows at their level, but then he got caught up.
But think about it, he had radio though.
Yeah, he was out first. He was out first, like 83, 84, and then they came out like 86, 87.
That's what I'm saying.
So
like,
he was just born with a trend.
His flow was still rocking like the old school shit. Like when they came out, like that kind of made him step up. Because if you listen to like going back to the second album, he did the radio album, and then he did, what was it, the Walker with a Panther, and you know what I'm saying? Like he had to change the flows though. It's like, bro, you gotta catch up to these dudes. And then the West Coast happened, and fucking the monster, Ice Cube, the fucking West Coast overlord. Like, he was not lying about that shit.
And he was the first dude. He was the first dude to actually do like a hip hop comeback. Like, he fell off, because usually in the 80s, if you fell off, you're done. There's no way you could come
Yeah,
back.
he
Mama,
was.
mama
He
said
would
knock
do.
you out.
He would do an album that wasn't that good and then come back with like a monster.
Yeah, so he made a comeback.
Yeah.
He was the first MC to actually
He,
make a comeback.
and he did that like twice, like
He
two or
done
three
that shit.
times.
Yeah, because he did
Mr. Smith.
Walking with a Panther was fire. And then I think there was another one after that. And then it was Mama said knock you out.
You know what's weird about that? Walking with a Panther was a dope album, but when it came out, it wasn't really appreciated when it came out.
Because Rakim dropped Paid in Full. No, because Rakim dropped Paid in Full.
Well,
Rakim.
the Paid in Full album came out, but remember that was like the late '80s, but not everybody on the pro.
No, they both dropped the same day.
Oh, did they? Wow.
Yep.
There you go. That's gonna
help. That's Paid in Full.
and that yeah, like bro, one of the greatest albums ever. So yeah, this dude, man. But it's like you're saying, like it wasn't appreciated at the time, and now you listen to songs like, yo, them shit fire, bro.
Bangers.
Right.
And then whatever he dropped next, it was like, and then he drops Mama Said Knock You Out, and my man just like he let Marley Marl just like produce everything on that shit.
Yep.
Let him rock. Like, I think somebody described that shit as like powered by Marley Marl. Like, goddamn right. And then after that, 14 Shots to the Dome, that shit was trash.
And then he comes back with the Mr. Smith.
Mr. Smith. And then the next album was fire too, but he let Puff do the whole, like it was just a hitman doing their thing.
It was a Ziggy album.
So and then he does the Go
album. But that's
album.
the 4321. That's what started all the whole cannabis shit. And
yes.
Yeah.
So that shouldn't have happened. And he's still like I'm glad cannabis has like is getting the respect now, because a lot of people are like showing him love. Like he just did the thing with Nems on the podcast. They'll never disrespect
I gotta
me.
listen to that.
Yo,
I gotta listen to that because I know I've listened to the one he has with Matt Hoffa and one ep. I know he did something on one ep, and I'm listening to the one with Matt Hoffa.
I haven't seen that one yet. The one with
I listened to the one
with
Matt Hoffa. It was pretty cool.
Yeah,
and the
one he did with one ep was dope too. So I'm happy for him. So Dio Gin, we were about to get about this bitch right now. So what's up next after this, man? We're gonna be touring.
we gonna do videos with Freddie Fox, just like John Cena did.
What? What happened?
Shit. You see, that's a question. That was what I was trying to say earlier before we had
Are you looking at any wrestlers
technical difficulty
walk around for their soundtrack?
Yo, so that when your wrestling album, you gotta try to hit up Freddie Fox and just like do like John Cena did when he did a rap video and have Freddie Fox in the video.
Did he have? I gotta go. I'm gonna.
Yo, that shit was so bugged
as soon as
out.
I get off.
Yo, this motherfucker got Freddie Fox driving the A-Team van, like the van from the A-Team series, fam.
Wasn't Freddie Fox like the maddest rapper ever?
Yeah. How you got the maddest rapper ever do some cool shit like that?
Freddie Fox, the rapper that's so thorough that Tupac hired him as a bodyguard when he went out to Queensbridge. Like, dog. Like this nigga had 2 machetes and 2 pistols on him.
How the fuck you got him on the good side to do some wrestling shit?
Yeah, but also he's the one that co-wrote "What a Man" for Salt and Pepper. So,
there you go.
Oh yeah,
I was a side note, real quick on that. Now you mentioned Salt and Pepper. I was listening to their discography. I never realized they had so many damn hits.
Yeah, that's another group like that. If it mentioning groups, it don't matter male or female.
Funny story. So somebody talked about them and they were like, yo, these people had like mad hits, but like through the courses of like their 6-year run, they probably went on tour like total of 20 times. That means they actually went like to 20 different cities, and that was it. They ain't do nothing else with themselves.
Oh no.
Like their touring game sucked. Like I don't even think they went overseas.
I think it was just the time, the reflection of the time. They weren't able to really do, you know what I'm saying? Like now, touring is such a big part of everything now. It's, acts like that. They just play their old shit and they just kind of keep performing. But it's true, yo. Like they weren't going everywhere. And then back then they had the Fresh Fest, and once that shit happened in Long Beach, the touring got shut down. So Jay did his tour. So he did the Hard Knock Life. Yo, y'all need to before we wrap it up, y'all do need to see the LeBron the series he got on HBO.
The barbershop.
Showtime.
The barbershop one?
Yeah, the barbershop shit. So like when Jay is on there, he's talking about when he gotta try to catch up to DMX.
Oh, I seen
like,
that.
follow. Yeah, so that was the funniest clip because he's like, yo, I gotta follow this shit. Nigga.
Right. And DMX was hot that year.
Yeah, they were both bitching about who should close the show. And then once like X came in, like, all right, I'll let you shut up and watch this. And then after Jay started performing, niggas started walking out.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah,
terrible.
And then after that, they're like, all right, you could close out.
But yeah, DMX, man, I was supposed to go. I was supposed to see him live. He never showed.
Shocker! That's not like everybody else's story. I was supposed to see him too. He fucking never showed up.
Yeah, he never showed. I went literally just to see him. I had to sit through like City High and some other.
Sorry.
I didn't want to go to see them, and there was like 10 other acts, and I had only to find out that DMX didn't come.
City High, the one where they had an interpersonal drama within the group. Shorty was the one guy and she marries the other one. Like, goddamn.
The Puerto Rican Fugees.
The Puerto Rican Fugees.
Yeah, because it was White Club that put them on.
Yeah, and it was the same story. It was the Fuji story. And said she was smashing both of them.
I never knew that.
She was with one, breaks up with him, and then gets with the other one, and then they get married and got like a whole family and a whole life.
And then he wants to kill the other guy for taking his chick.
It was tough. This shit is like the
that really happened. Cover. Oh, you guys joking that?
Yeah, real life. That shit is like the saga of New York Undercover, the TV show. Because Detective Williams, the Puerto Rican dude is with the Puerto Rican girl, and then she's not with him, and then she gets with my man JC Williams.
Yeah, I think he got killed.
After they killed him and they ruined the whole show.
Your man smashing your wife from Jesus Christ. That when the show got bad.
Yeah.
Once he died, the show died.
Yes,
he died.
You are correct.
Yo, because didn't they like stop doing hip hop stuff after that?
Yeah, they stopped. They got mad.
Yeah.
They bought all these white characters and all this other stuff. They got whacked.
They used to let I think Heavy D was involved in selecting the artists and doing
that was Andre Harrell. It was Andre Harrell.
Yeah, so with Heavy D, Andre Harrell, that whole Uptown Records vibe. Yeah. So
what made the show cool, they stopped doing.
Yeah. Like y'all losing it. You can't. This is a show that needs that. So
the guy who created that went on to create SUV.
Dick Wolf. Yeah, that was him.
That was him.
Dick Wolf is like the mafia.
Oh, word?
Yeah, he just the way he moves is real like gangsterish.
Mafioso-ish.
Yeah. Ice-T said when he first met him, he's like, yeah, I just showed up in his I went to his office and he turned around like John Gotti and shit, just like ominous.
Jesus.
Like strong, dark energy. But hey, man, SVU been on for what, 24 years or some shit?
Yeah, that shit not gonna get canceled all the time. So that shit gonna end with him married.
They just need to look at the newspaper every day and there's a new episode.
There's a new episode. Pretty much. Yo, Ice-T's gonna have white hair and he's gonna be the only one. He's gonna be like the captain.
You gotta let him rock. You gotta let him rock. He gonna be running the whole precinct next few seasons. Olivia's gonna retire.
I'm waiting for them to like recreate the fucking Meg Thee Stallion incident when she got shot in the leg. See if they're gonna make an exaggeration point of that on fucking SVU.
Didn't the Stabler got with Benson? They got together or something?
They're trying to push that, man. I hope they don't do it, man. Because this dude is gonna be
it's gonna
It was
ruin the show
insinuating.
if they try it. Because but I don't think they will. So,
I mean,
but that's just me.
if I was
Yo,
in
but
issues, I would have been smashed. So I don't know.
Jeez.
Yo, but you know, to wrap it up, basically, like, yo, what's next for you, man? Like, you know, you got the album, the Made with Love, and also people, you know, go and listen to the Lonely Hero, which is his first album.
Yep,
Shit is
yep.
fire. So, but what's next? You know, you got South by Southwest. You know,
So South,
what else we got?
yeah, we're gonna hit Texas up. I'm gonna roll out there, do these 2 shows. After I get back, I'm gonna. I got a lot of things I'm learning in this music industry course. So it's just gonna be a lot of Made with Love pushing, just trying to get that everywhere. I'm just like really focused on getting that. I am gonna shoot a video to Wannabe, which is off the album. And it's gonna be Wannabe / 97 Brett. I'm gonna do like 2 songs in one. You know how some rappers used to do that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that song, and that's a pretty creative video I got coming up. And just pushing that album and seeing where it goes. We do have 2 new singles coming out in the summer. The Mumble Program, it's off the album, but we did remixes.
Oh my God, that was another song I wanted to fucking talk about, man. Jesus Christ, I knew I was missing one, man. What the fuck were you on did that with? What the hell were you smoking?
Yo, my boy Session mate, he sent me that beat, and that beat just, the first thing I thought of was just like Beat Miners, Boot Camp. Like that's the first thing and I just was like, I wrote a verse, and I was like, man, and then when I heard the mumbling and then the hook, I was just like, oh, the Mumble Program, like this is that, to me, that reminded me of like some boom bap mumbling. So I was just like, yo,
fire.
Yeah.
Fucking fire.
Yeah, the Mumble Program. Yeah, so we got
you gotta
that.
hear that one.
We have that one coming out in the summertime as a single, because we did remixes. So we did like a few versions. I don't know if you guys heard of Boycott Blue. He's from Boston. He's on the remix. And we got my man Kamar Waleed. He's on. I did 2 different remixes. So I did the one you hear on the album, and then 2 other ones. And I did a different verse for all 3.
Okay.
And then it's a different feature for all 3. So we're gonna release that as a single, and then I got another single, just a single coming up. Heroes Don't Lie, introducing my younger brother. His name's Indio, and he sings, he raps, and we're gonna introduce him later this summer. And then from there, I'm just gonna push the Made with Love album, Lonely Hero album's out too. So, but everything right now is just all Made with Love, and then if the things work well, maybe late next year, 2024, I'll put out the People's Champion. That's the wrestling album, the wrestling theme album. So
that's gonna be the platinum. That's gonna be the platinum plaque.
Well, I'm hoping Made with Love was, but
are you gonna be worried? Are you gonna be wearing pink spandex in the homage of Bret the Hitman?
No. So.
Are you gonna find the Hitman glasses? The infamous Hitman glasses?
No, them shits was covering the whole face.
The theme of the album is wrestling, but the songs are mostly like I have a song called Pedro Morales, but it's I'm giving props to Latin people.
Okay.
I'm not talking about him. It's just really, I got another song, like a song called Miss Elizabeth, where it's kind of like a love song, admiring my girl. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and I got another song called The Heenan Family, which is like a posse cut.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? So,
okay, I see where you go with this.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. And I got another song called The Benoit Curse, and I talk about more family trauma, more family. You know what I'm saying? So I take whatever the theme of the song is, I apply it to kind of like my life, whatever the wrestler is.
I'm not gonna tell you what to do, But I swear to God, if I don't hear no reference to Tito Santana or Razor Ramon, we're gonna have a fucking problem here, all right?
Damn.
Yo, Pedro Morales he paved the way for them.
No, he paved the way.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
First of all, Razor Ramon's not even Spanish, bro.
He's an honorary Cuban,
That's
right? When
true.
I'm playing this, right? Don't fucking ruin my dreams, okay? All right? It's still real to me, damn it. It's still fucking real to me.
He's the coolest non-Cuban Cuban.
Yes, he is,
ever.
goddamn.
Yo, fact.
If I give Al Pacino a pass, I'm fucking giving Razor Ramon a pass.
Oh,
I'm giving Scott Hall a pass.
Razor Ramon deserves every pass in the world. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Speaking of Cuba, I thought we was gonna talk Cuba. I did want to say, because I know we talked things about to make it a little sit about Che Guevara.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna leave that alone because you're half Dominican. I'm gonna show you the best of both worlds.
No, listen.
I kind of want to kill you sometimes, but you're half Dominican, so I know you're.
No, I grew up with a Dominican family they always when they spoke to me about that stuff, it was always like, don't believe it. He's always did some good things.
But the Cuban side was like, yeah, this is what we went through. Did your Cuban side have a conversation?
Yeah, my grandfather especially. Yes. My grandfather especially. But when I actually read the story, I actually bought his book and read it, and I was just like, it's tough. I'm always in a tough position because I believe in what he was trying to do. I just don't believe what he turned into, and that's tough to swallow. Like
it's like
I was
it's
very
like
no, go ahead. I was disappointed that's what, and to me, I look at it more like, man, look what war turned people into, and that's what, and it bothers me because it's like, but that's why I took the stance where it's just like, no one could tell me shit but Cubans. Yeah. I don't want to hear white people talk to me about him. No one, Cubans, I will listen to, and I'll be like, you know what? I can't say nothing. You're right.
We lived it, man. Like my whole family was. I mean, your whole side know what it is, man. So we all lived through that system, man. So it's rough. And the funny thing about it, I'll tell you a funny story because I had a Che book that I read in high school, and the way the book was perceived to me, it was the same way you took it. It was like, all right, he was complex, a little bit complicated. Like he mean well, but he ended up doing some bullshit. And
right.
And that's the way I took the book as. And because of course, hip hop, they revere him because they see him as revolutionary. I'm gonna tell you a funny story. I went to Mexico to see my uncle. My uncle's a fucking full-blown communist, and I didn't know that till I went over there. He's a full-blown communist. I go to the store to buy a fucking Che Guevara shirt. He knows my mom was anti-communist, and he didn't say shit to me. Like, maybe it's not a good idea to rock this shirt because I'm still on revolutionary mode. So I rock the shirt. Right. I come back from the airplane with the Che shirt. My mom picks me up from the airport. She's like, what the fuck? Like, she cussed me out in the front of the airport, like in front of everybody. Like, what the fuck you doing rocking that shit?
You didn't know.
I'm like, revolutionary, mommy, because we're fighting the strike. Fuck no. Take that shit off right now. Like, mom, take that shit off. My man, I had to take this fucking shirt off in the middle of everybody.
Right.
I'm a grown-ass man. This woman made me fucking take off this shirt in front of everybody. Had to turn this shit inside out.
No, yeah, it is.
She called my dad. She called my grandfather. And then, my father gave me the speech, like, because I'm going to tell you, I'm like, yo, first of all, you guys never told me shit. Y'all just came over here and y'all suppressed this kid. So that's number one. Y'all fucked up in that department.
Right.
Then my grandfather spoke to me, but she told my grandfather. So he was like, what were you thinking? I'm like, you guys never told me anything. You guys just left the island, came over here, and just went blinded with everything.
Right.
So then after that, he was the first one to educate me. He was like, okay, this is what the system is. And then he told me what he went through that system. You know what I mean? He didn't say nothing. He just spoke out. And he went to jail, and he got fucked up out there. He did like a year and some change, rough labor. So he went through his throat trauma. I'm like, okay, I got it now. Next time, fucking talk to me. Don't make me look like a fucking idiot rocking his damn shirt thinking I'm doing something proper.
Right. Yeah, my father was always like, yo, he tried to help all of us. And he always stuck that in my head. And I just always, it was to the point where I was
you take his word for it.
Yeah, I was gonna get tattoos and everything. But then as I got older, a little more older, and when I really read that book, the biography, even though the book it's his biography, but it still left me very disappointed. It just left me like, like, damn, and it just leaves me. What bothers me is it's complex because it's like America can't talk shit about this guy because y'all do no better. Y'all don't do any better.
Which is true.
so,
Which is
so,
true.
so it's just like I don't. And it irks me when I hear just Americans just talk about anything they had. Like Cubans, tell me all. I want to hear it all. I want to tell. I want to hear the stories. I want to hear. Tell me how it was. I want to know. My grandfather told us a lot. He told my
Yeah.
grandfather, running through dirt fields,
Yeah.
running from the army, trying to get to the American embassy. So,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? When you hear shit like that, you're just like, damn, so my mind, it's shifted a little bit and I'm a little more sensitive now through the years with it. You know what I'm saying? I still do, and something in my heart still tells me like, yo, they were trying to do something right. I believe that he was trying to do something right, but it just went.
The
You know what it
methods,
was?
man.
Power.
Power corrupts. Power
Yeah.
does corrupt.
Yeah.
Power does corrupt. But then, like, I mean, that's a catch-22 because people do have the ideology that he probably meant to the right thing, but then he just the power, the greed corrupt him. And then you have the other side saying, no, he had this in mind for the jump because he always had the ideology, and his whole thing is just like, let me sell this light on everybody and keep power. So
He
it
hated
depends who you
America.
ask.
He hated America and he hated capitalism. That is a fact. He
Yeah, it's a
hated
fact.
America. He hated capitalism. He hated and I guess what
Nigga
his
hated
thing,
capitalism. He hated America. He hated blacks. He hated gays. He hated anybody that was not fucking
he
Argentinian.
he
So,
didn't he didn't even like yeah, but that's a Latin thing.
yeah.
He didn't even like some of the things. He didn't like Fidel playing. Fidel was a politician, whether you
Yeah.
at all. But he didn't like Fidel playing. Fidel was the businessman, as you
Yeah,
said.
but
Yeah.
he's a politician. He was a
Yeah,
politician. He didn't like
yeah,
politics. So
yeah. So and Shay didn't like that, but he never really went against Fidel. But all that, everything on Cuba falls on Fidel, man. You're the
yeah,
leader.
there's no one you can blame but him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no one you
I
can
mean,
blame but
shit.
him, man. I had a dude here yesterday. He did an episode with us, and another Cuban too, man. He was just dropping gems of what was really going on within the islands and just like the oppression and all that stuff. So I mean, it is what it is. You could take it all in a grain of salt, but
Right.
what I do now, because I know you see me on social media, what we're trying to promote now, saying whatever y'all trying to admire or romanticize, that is not it, and you gotta listen to the people that live through it. That's what right
Right.
now.
Right. I will
Just
agree with that. Yeah,
listen to the people that have been
I
through it.
will agree
That's
with
all.
that.
Listen to
Yeah,
people. It's
because
not about the Republican people in Miami. It's not about the privileged people. It's about everybody's going through because the Cubans that live in Boston, Cubans that live in New York, D.C., Canada, they all got the same story. So it's not a coincidence. So you gotta listen to those
right.
people that lived it.
Right. And when my grandfather, before he passed, he always used to say, he said for like the first year and a half it was good. And he was in Cuba.
Yeah.
He said I've heard that's from coming from him. I don't, I can only take what he says, you know what I'm saying? He
Yeah.
was like the first year after that they took over, he said it was good. Something happened and I think it was a lot of Fidel's arrogance. Like he wanted to prove that they can make it without America's help so much that I don't know. But I am sensitive to a lot of like Cubans. I don't want to come off like I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I've learned a lot about that.
Yeah.
I've learned to listen to a lot of and Cubans definitely. I'm not gonna listen to anybody else.
Yeah, I mean that's all it takes now, man. I mean, I could say for the stuff that I've been doing, I have seen, I'm not a complete pessimist when it comes to me. So when it comes to this, I've seen a lot of people, having a change of heart and seeing this perspective because, in all
Right.
honesty, people don't know what's going on. They don't know. They didn't know what happened. They just go
Right.
through the talking points and the
Right.
little information they show on TV. So now it's just like, what I try to do now is just like educate them and just show them what's really, really going on with the little information they give us out there. But
And it's hard. It's complex for us too because Che Guevara, Fidel Castro, the African American community kind of embraces them too.
And that's the mission I've been on right now.
Yeah, that right there.
That's the community I've been trying to reach, man. And luckily through TikTok, man. Like I put a couple of TikTok videos right now.
Yeah.
The 3 videos I had with black folks in it, black humans, them shit are getting like 200,000 views right now.
Yeah.
And I got people that's on those videos, and they talking, and they broke down everything from, like, for whatever reason, I don't know why I don't fucking tell them, like the issue with the Black Panthers when they went to Cuba. Like, the Black Panthers went to Cuba to find asylum from the United States, and then once they see how the black Cuban being treated there, they will look at asylum from Cuba to go to Europe. So they go back to the white.
Yeah, see? Because all you hear is that he met with them. All you hear
he met
is
with the Panthers. He met with the Panthers. Yeah. So a lot of them went to jail also because Fidel made them cut their afros.
Yeah. And a lot with me too is I'm big on Malcolm X. To me, I think that's probably the greatest man ever lived, bro. That's just my opinion. And usually when he says something, I hold his word to it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So he spoke very highly of them in his book.
Yeah, but this, now mind you, this is like before he died. So now we got to go pre-1960. So pre-1960, right. Of course, he was pumping that shit that he's the champion for the people. So of course, everybody ate it up. But then right after 1960 plus till now, he showed his true colors. So
right.
So that's all it is in that department. And who would have known if he would have changed his mind or whatnot? Because people change. But at that moment, they were both.
Yeah.
He's playing the I'm for the little people, so I'm not gonna take these hotels. I'm going to Harlem and be with the real people. I mean, people admire that shit, so I get it.
Right. So, and I do think also they were in war, bro. They're in war, man. They were in war. They were you think about it. When they took over, the war didn't stop.
No.
Now you got to build the infrastructure.
Yeah.
Now you gotta feed people. Now, let me tell you, if I was in that position, I wouldn't know who to trust.
He's paranoid. Because he went too far, and everybody, like the biggest, powerful country in the world trying to take you out. So now you're paranoid. You really acting like Scarface in the final scene of the movie.
And there's people who wanted to leave, people who wanted to go to Mexico or go to where was it? Where else? Who else did they were working with? What other country they had close ties to? Was it Russia or it was
Soviet
another
Union.
one?
Yeah, it was the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
Soviet
they had
Union.
ties with them.
I was gonna say Colombia, but not really, because Fidel though, he was the one that set off the attacks that started the civil war in Colombia in the 50s. El Bogotazo in 1949. He's the one that set that shit off. He set off bombs and killed people and all that shit. Yo, Fidel, foul motherfucker, bro.
And I'm always of the belief that Cuba needed to be taken over from under Batista.
Yeah, but Batista was terrible, bro. Like absolutely horrible.
But we talked about. I had a professor on the podcast like 2 weeks ago, and he even broke that down. Like, he was terrible, but they overhyped his evilness because of the tone of his skin. So the fact that he was a black man, they didn't want a black man over the country. So they pretty much said anybody but a nigger, I would like to run this country. There was actual people say that. So he also broke down
the mafia.
Yeah, the mafia, and also he also said that even during Batista's era, Cuba already had a communist ideology. They kind of really wanted that on the low, but they didn't say it out loud. So Fidel used that to his advantage. So he used that to his advantage. He used the fact that Cuba's already racist, so we could get this black guy out of here. He used the fact that the majority of people that are thinking about that is the youth that's really like disgruntled. He is the youth and the poor folks. So he used that all to his advantage to be like, yo, we could pump this. And then afterwards, he just pulled the okie doke. It's a lot of different dynamics. I'll suggest you listen to that episode with the professor where he said a lot of things about Cuba that I do nothing about.
Because I'm on some like, I just want to learn I like learning about the history. I like now that I'm more into it.
Yeah.
As opposed to like, just hearing what some older folks argue about it. He did right. No, he did wrong. He did. You know what I'm saying? So it's just
The truth is always somewhere in between, but he was a foul dude. So
right.
So
you know.
so if you hear my shit, like most of the episodes that I talk about is, you know, shit that happened from like a Black human perspective. So that's why I had a Black professor, had like these Black influencers and like activists, so they could tell you like what really, really happened, you know, from that perspective. So they won't tell you any bullshit because they actually lived it. So
that. I'm with it, man. I'm with it.
Nah, for real. Just like that shit is those are on YouTube and TikTok. So like I heard a little clip from the professor. I was like, yo, that shit is so real. Like what he's talking about.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
man.
dope. That's dope. But I did read a lot of his. I read that book, and then I read a couple of things here and there. I've been doing a lot more reading too, because it's, you know, you're not gonna learn shit on it, Facebook or Instagram. So
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So Biggs, check this out. We had the best of both worlds, man. We had an MC, half Dominican and half Cuban. So I'm not bringing after Cuban links. I'm trying to do right now.
Like balance it out.
Yeah, I'm trying to balance it out. I'm trying to do right.
Have Cuban links.
No, yesterday the joke was because I said like I grew up around Cubans, so the joke was like yo, you know shit about, I'm a fake Cuban because you know shit about Cubans that I didn't know. And then when we closed out the episode, it was Dominican Mike and Cuban Biggs.
Yeah, man.
Yo, man, y'all are funny, man.
Yo, man. So yeah, we were about to wrap out of here, man. Dio, long overdue, man. Can we fucking like get a drink or something like sometime this year before you fucking go to Texas?
We will get a drink. We will get I might be taking part in some tours, in a tour this summer. I don't know yet. It's not official. Right now I'm just worried about Texas. And once we do that, it's just gonna be pushing the album. That's it, pushing the album and the 2 singles I told you about. And I might do a few shows on a tour coming up. And I'm trying to do some you guys ever heard of the Porch Fest? Or you
sounds familiar,
yeah.
No, I'm lost in the sauce in that department.
Yeah, they shut down like Dorchester, Rosendale, Fenway, and they ask people if artists can perform right in front of your house. And they pick like
they have those in Somerville. They have those in Somerville. Yes, okay, remember.
So they have one in Rosendale, they have one in Dorchester, they got one in Dedham, Fenway, all over the place.
They need to let Dio Gin perform with KT and all the Boston Massive.
Yeah, if I'm racing them.
Well, KT hasn't been. Yeah, KT. I don't know where KT's at.
KT, I found him on Instagram. I think he's on insurance.
Oh, okay. Oh, good.
I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I mean, shit,
I
like
saw
Tracy
him, and
Lee.
I'm like, yo, is that? I sent him like a quick thing. Like, yo, is that you, nigga? You're like, yeah, that's me. Just, I thought you were dead.
Wow.
Damn.
No, nigga. I thought he was like the Ultimate Warrior, nigga. I thought he died and then came back.
Yo, the Ultimate Warrior died like mad times in elementary school.
and then he comes back and then he actually did die.
And then he actually did that.
No, the Ultimate Warrior was the original Tupac.
Yo, Tupac's still alive, bro.
Nigga died and came back.
He's in Egypt right now, bro.
Yo, can we just, before we log out, could we just all agree? Come on, Mike, please. If Biggie would have responded to hit him up, it would have been over. Please, can you just agree?
Yo, that face.
On that note, guys, this has been the Ruckus podcast.
Damn, you gonna stay quiet there, Mike?
Can we please just...
You're not gonna answer that? You're not gonna answer that for your guest?
Mike won't say that on the recorded episode.
Yo,
where's Roger when I need him?
If Jay-Z would have responded to hit him up, it would have been a wrap for Tupac.
Well, you know, Jay-Z was the original. Jay-Z was in the original Hit 'Em Up, right?
I think, yeah. Well, Jay-Z
hit him up because when he went on his fucking rampage to fuck everybody, he put Jay-Z on it.
Jay-Z in there,
and then he took him out.
Jay-Z replied too. We're never gonna hear that song.
Yeah, but supposedly
Clark Kent
the
has
song
it.
That
Clark Kent has that
Clark
song.
Kent has it. Yeah, he
that
never.
shit, yo, is like wild, disrespectful, like very violently disrespectful too.
For real?
Yeah, that's what I recall reading, that it's like
Yeah, I heard this shit
real
was foul.
reckless.
I
Yeah,
heard it's
like
foul.
real foul. Like
When I,
it was street. It was like New York street nigga shit. Like, yo, we do not like all that shit you
right,
talking. Nah.
But
right. And Jay was an
I
asshole
will
at
say
that
this. I will
time.
say this. Would he win or lose? I don't know, but it would have been nice if he gave him like a real response, like a real, not
It
a
would have.
subliminal long kiss goodnight. I like
I
a real,
know,
like
I know.
I'm coming after him. It would have been nice. It
Yeah,
would have balanced it out.
It would have been classic. It would have
Yeah.
been
yeah, but
classic.
I would have liked for them to like have squashed that shit. You know, like at least get to the point where him and Nas got to, where like, yo, they met each other face to face and talked. You
Right.
know.
I don't
Uh,
think that'll ever happen, because you gotta remember this is like pre Ja Rule 50. So remember 50 got shot 9
That would
times.
have been.
And
That
I
would
don't
have been.
see
Yeah, it would have had to happen years later.
yeah, I don't
Yeah,
see
yeah.
them being friends like that after the whole
Nah,
accusation
not
thing. So
friends, not friends. Just just like squashing the shit.
Well, I always said if Tupac lived, he would have. Who
He would have
knows? He would have
squashed
did.
all that shit.
Yeah, yeah.
he
He
would have
would
been
have
an actor.
squashed it.
I say he would have been an
Tup-
actor.
Oh yeah,
Tupac would have been.
he would have had the first rap
He would have
Oscar
been
instead of Will
an
Smith.
actor and stop rapping.
Tupac would have been in Are We There Yet? That's what
I would have passed it.
Yes,
Yeah,
with
yeah,
Nia Long.
yeah.
That's
yes,
what Tupac would have
Yep.
done.
with his own kids.
With his
Yep.
own kids.
Definitely. He'll take the T off Thug Life and put Hug Life.
Oh, Jesus.
Yo,
Jesus.
oh, shit.
Well, that's when I take that dinner with Jay-Z, that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna ask him if I can hear the Tupac
Yo.
bits.
You heard that, K-Rod? He's gonna take the dinner with Jay-Z.
Oh, I got it.
Taking the
Yeah,
dinner. Yeah, I heard.
that's a joke I have with my friends. I'm taking the dinner. I'm taking notes, and I'm sitting next to Beyonce.
Jesus.
That's
Take the dinner and ask for the meal.
right.
Yeah, there you go. Well
Oh,
played.
you know what? I'll play it up too. I'll be like, when the check comes, I'll be like, hold on, Jay, let me look at that. You know what I'm saying? Pretend like I'm gonna pay, and then wait till he be like, nah, I got it. You know what I'm saying?
You sure?
You sure?
Sure,
You would
sure.
say, all right, Sean.
You don't have to, but
Spanish guys are. They would never let you grab that bill. That's how my uncles and my grandfathers were, man. That bill came, they didn't want nobody touching that bill.
You can't even see that shit.
Right.
Yeah, so Dio, let's see before you like leave the fucking state, let's try to link or something, have some mojitos, so do some stereotypical Cuban shit, fucking do a conga line or fucking
right. Some
mojitos in a conga line.
do a
some
conga line or some shit.
congri and some yuca.
Buy some fucking cobreta or some shit. Make me a fucking Doña Havana.
Right. I heard they're not that good over there.
Yeah, I know. Shout out to Doña Havana. You know, they're great. They're great people. They let us protest. I will not slander those guys.
Hey,
they let us
man.
rock. So
Let's do it. Fuck it, I'll rock
quick question, Big. Before we leave, we keep saying we gotta leave, but we never do. Wait, Big, quick question.
I know.
Big,
For
and
changes.
K-Roy, you can answer the question too. If a guy who's Latino is not from that particular country, but they take like somebody else's like culture and like, you know, and try to like, you know, do what they do, like, is that considered like cultural appropriation or culture vulture?
In a way, it is in a way. I mean, but it depends on like how they got to that culture. Because if they grew up in it, like that's one thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I think it's more like that person.
That's not a Doña Habana story. So fucking,
Oh,
I got a fucking
God.
Dominican culture appropriating my fucking culture.
It's partly that, and how distant it is away too, right? Because you got the Caribbean islands. A lot of us have so many similarities in our culture just because of the situation that came about and we were created in. So there's a lot of similarities, and then like Big said, you know, if you grew up in it and you respect the culture,
Right.
I don't see it as wrong. Now if you an outsider and you disrespecting it, yeah, then that's a problem.
Then you're the vulture.
Yeah,
That's
then
what
you're the
become.
vulture.
Hey, I've been
also, and it also comes down to giving back to that community too.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. He gave back. He let us rock out in the protest. So I guess he gave back. But
listen.
He's saying that shit because when he came down here with La Tia to DC, we were walking around in the protests and shit, and I was like the only Dominican that was in there.
Oh my goodness.
Then you
In
wonder
front of the
why
White
fucking
House.
Cuban bigs.
Hey, I've been eating Cuban food cooked by Dominicans for years. Okay, so okay.
Time to switch that up, sir.
don't change that for me, okay?
Mike coming in here saying that's unacceptable.
No, because the funny thing about it, there's like 3 Mexican restaurants here in Lawrence owned by Dominicans. So I want to see what the fucking what's their excuse.
Every pizza shop around here is either a Guatemalan or a Mexican family. Like there's no Italians working pizza shops around here. That shit don't exist. You go to New York City, they all owned by Armenians and shit like that. Like, bro, that shit's gone.
The last pizza shop in Brooklyn that really had like Italian. They just closed. It was Lenny's, the one on Saturday Night Fever, and man. So
that shit's happening everywhere, and I mean, again, it comes down to growing up around that stuff, right? Like,
my family will not go. My Cuban family, they will not go to these Cuban restaurants.
Nah,
they're like, we make better Cuban food.
Yeah.
What about the spot in Jamaica Plain? The actual Cuban restaurant out there.
That's the main one. Well, you got all Dominicans cooking.
He's the owner. He's the architect. He gave him the ingredient. Be like, yeah, get to work. So I get it. He hustling, you know.
Who Dominican came to that restaurant and was offended.
Damn.
Because my father
really
lives
bad.
in Miami. He lives amongst all the Cubans in Miami. So he came up here to visit, and I took him to a Cuban restaurant. He was insulted. I was like, I don't know what to tell him. I was like, my fault. I'm sorry.
Wait, they're on vacation. What do you expect? But with that being said, to all my DR people, I need a Chinese restaurant. So try to do your best to try to get them niggas out of here before you can go and make a Chinese restaurant out here. Sprinkle a little bit of Presidente or Plátano, whatever the fuck y'all doing aside. Give me a fucking Chinese restaurant. Y'all could be officially officials.
You got the you got the fusions. You got Mama Sushi's and shit in New York and Jersey.
Mama Sushi's.
I'm lying. So there's a spot here called Hapun's in Lawrence. It's like it's a combination of Peruvian food and Japanese food all at once, owned by Dominicans. So
okay, that was a plot twist.
Shit, I didn't see that. At first, I'm like, all right, Peruvian and Japanese. All right, Peru
like
had a lot of Asian people went to Peru and stuff like that, so that makes sense. And then you came in with the owned by Dominicans, and that shit just tossed me for fucking loop, bro. What the fuck?
I take it back now. I running everything. I take it back.
No, I seen on TV that recently, a few weeks back, there was a Dominican guy who was making Dominican barbecue. He mixed Dominican food with like Southern cooking. Yeah,
and like they take Texas barbecue and do Dominican seasonings, and the line is out the door with a bunch of white people. Like it's
that
crazy.
Shit has to be wild though.
Like it has to be incredibly good for that shit to happen.
White people love food that ain't theirs, bro. They will always support the shit. I don't give a fuck.
It's because it's seasoned. It's all right. I'll go fuck. It's seasoned. That's why.
Yep. Pretty much.
Listen, we didn't conquer the whole world and didn't use the seasonings. We just figured it out. We were like, we use it. England hasn't figured it out. It's cool.
Oh, and they won't either.
They never will.
They never will.
Start with salt and pepper, bro.
Yeah, how you got a whole ass country that conquered the whole world, and your country only known for fish and chips, bro.
Like, Jesus, that's terrible. That's terrible. And not like good fish, just like haddock.
Yeah.
Like there's no snapper, no nothing, man. Bacalao.
So,
Oh God, I love ending the show with some good races right here. That's what we like to do.
Nah, but for real, what was the last?
We go from having a deep thought of hip hop just being a bunch of racist fucks.
bacalao.
What was the last time you heard someone say they love English food? I'll wait.
Does English muffin count?
I have no idea.
I'm sure they count as much as French fries.
French fries.
Oh man. Well, on that note, y'all, this has been the Ruckus podcast. Dio Gin, you know you're always a guest out here, man.
Right, no doubt.
K-Rod, Biggs, you know what it is. Love y'all.
Man. Blessings.
Ruckus podcast, organized, what the fuck you want to call it? It's about to be midnight. I'm fucking hungry. I'm about to take my ass to bed. But I'll catch y'all next time.
Organized chaos. Peace.
Organized
I'll be good.
Peace, y'all.